Welcome back, everybody, to the Boxscore Sports Podcast. I am your host, Ryan, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about some of the bigger headlines yesterday in the NFL, including the Packers winning, the Texans winning the South, the Bills are still the beast of the East, and we're going to talk about some of the coaching changes. We're going to give out awards, and then we're going to talk about playoff matchups coming this weekend, and hopefully third time's the charm. Isaac, you are with me here again. How's it going, man?
It's going good, bro. It was a little hectic this morning. Sorry, guys, for the inconvenience, but everything's going smooth now. So stream's looking good. Drippy, first one in here saying, "Go Pack, go Cowgirls," choking. We already got somebody in here, Ryan, right away off the bat. So
throwing flames, throwing fire. Yeah, maybe.
Gosh,
maybe,
this is gonna be good. I'm kind of glad that the stream messed up a little earlier this morning, Ryan. So let's get into this.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's start with the headlines, and we're going to talk about Drippy's Packers because
that's the first one we're talking about.
To my dismay, they have made the playoffs this year. To my disliking, they have made the playoffs this year. They beat the Chicago Bears. They beat them 17-9. Jordan Love had himself a game.
Sure did.
What are you thinking, man? Packers.
Can't get rid of them. They're like that annoying mosquito that keeps biting at you, keeps biting at your throat. You can't get rid of them. They keep coming.
Yeah.
It's man. But Jordan Love, man, I think I told you this off the podcast last week, Ryan, when I was like, did you check out Jordan Love's season numbers this year?
Yeah.
He's actually had a really good season this year. Like, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jordan Love. Jordan Love is playing amazing. He's playing stellar. He's doing way better than Rodgers did last year.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's doing better. I think I heard from somebody that he's done better than Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers' very first year taking the realm, right?
Yeah. So, just to be fair, I'm going to be the wet blanket, just a hair. They had the fourth easiest schedule this year.
Sure.
So that does play a part. Last year, I think they had the 19th worst or strength of schedule. They were 19th this year. They were fourth. So they had a pretty easy schedule this year. With that being said, it's crazy that he is playing the way he is, as good as he is. It's funny because he makes some like really silly throws at time, and man, sometimes he can throw the ball. Like there's some passes that I'm just like, man, I can't. Like yesterday, he threw it in between two defenders in the end zone, and the guy, his foot ended up being out of bounds. That was a ridiculous pass.
That was.
So unfortunately, I think we might have another at least good quarterback, at the very least a good quarterback in Green Bay. So that's a little disheartening for me.
It is. And a young coach in Matt LaFleur that I feel like is going to be around for quite a long time, Ryan, in that division in the NFC North. So I don't think you're getting rid of the Packers anytime soon.
No, it's ridiculous, by the way.
Drippy said J Love Super Bowl MVP. Drippy got the Packers winning the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know about that.
And he said,
Drippy, come on.
He said, yes, sir, better than both on their first year. So he agreed with me about Jordan Love played better his first year taking over the Packers than Aaron Rodgers did and Brett Favre. So that's impressive, bro. I will agree with you.
I'd have to look at the
Go ahead.
numbers, though. I kind of would like to do a deep dive in the numbers. Like, is one of, like some of it like might be the extra game. Like he got to play 17 games versus 16, so that's going to make the numbers look a little larger.
When was Aaron Rodgers' first year? Was it in 08?
08, yeah. And they were coming off, I think, Brett Favre the year before. Didn't they go like 13-3? Am I correct about that?
Yes, they did, I think. I can look at the 2008 Green Bay Packers standings, but Aaron Rodgers had 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, over 4,000 yards his very first year.
Yeah,
with the Packers. His first year after Brett Favre went to the Jets that year. Jordan Love's got more touchdowns and less interceptions, and his passer rating, they got the same. No, actually, Jordan Love got a way better passing rating than Aaron Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers had a 93.2. Jordan Love had a 96.1.
Yeah.
So it could be. I
What?
mean, you could be right. It could be because that extra game.
Mhm.
But Jordan Love had 2 more touchdowns better than Aaron Rodgers did, and I think Aaron Rodgers got more yards though. Let me just double check. I'm just flipping back and forth. No, Jordan Love did.
Yeah.
So
Well, when you play an extra game,
right,
that
right,
helps. Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it's pretty close, pretty close.
Yeah.
I must say.
Well, yeah. What was the strength of schedule? Well, we don't have to get into all that stuff.
Right,
But maybe one day, we got all off season. We can do a comparison between Love and Rogers and kind of talk about it, and Favre.
right.
But yeah, it is kind of crazy how good. I could have never predicted this, man. I just couldn't.
Uh,
Like,
I mean, actually we did. I did in a couple weeks ago. Um, I
oh
must
yeah,
say.
I think we
Remember,
both had them
I said,
winning. Yep,
yeah, yeah.
the
You were
playoffs. I
saying,
mean, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You said that you were afraid to face the Packers the first round in the wild card. Um,
yeah. Like I didn't want
so
that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think that Cowboys loss now, Ryan, might be good for you because you didn't want to play the Packers heading into the playoffs right away. I think it's good that you guys are playing the Rams right away and let the Cowboys play the Packers.
yeah,
Because I mean, I think the Packers might, I know a lot of Packer fans. Drippy's just saying Detroit's losing the first round. Eagles are choking hard, and all we got to do is beat San Fran, and we're in the Super Bowl. And that's a good positive mindset to have as a Packers fan. But I'm going to tell you this: the Cowboys are undefeated at home. They
mm,
have played nonstop, uh, great football here down the stretch in this season when they're at home. The Cowboys are playing phenomenal at home. So
yeah.
it's not a gimme, Packer fans. It's not a gimme, but it's going to be a good game. I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs.
Yeah, I am too. And let's face it, though, Drippy. To be honest with you, the last team you want to see in the playoffs is San Francisco because
Yeah.
San Francisco has had Green Bay's number for the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
maybe longer even. When was
Mm-hmm.
Kaepernick? When did Kaepernick run all over them? 2014. So it's been a long time.
2012. He ran over them
Yeah,
like
yeah,
three straight years in a row.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know if I'd want to put my eggs and we can beat the San Francisco 49ers basket.
No, he didn't
And
say
I
that they
think,
would. He's just saying we just got to beat San Francisco. So I think
yeah,
he's worried about the Niners. But I'm not going that far because even if the Packers do beat the Cowboys, they got to play the Niners right away the next round. So
yeah, that's fair.
So
That's
I
fair.
don't see the Packers going to the NFC Championship game. They could beat the Cowboys because the Cowboys are known to choke in the playoffs. But I
Sure.
got to give it to the Cowboys though, as far as based of what I saw from their home record and how they played at home this year. They have been a very unstoppable team at home. So that's going to be a tough game for the Packers.
That's fair. And here's the thing is with I'm like it's funny because I'm actually gonna probably root for the Packers playing against the Cowboys because I think it'd be hilarious for it's kind of like one of those things. I
Yeah.
really didn't want them to go to the playoffs. Now that they're in their playoffs, it would be kind of funny to see the Packers beat the what's it called there the Cowboys. But I don't think like him saying that the Lions would lose to the Rams. I think the Lions will probably beat the Rams personally. I think that place is going to be popping,
Oh
and
yeah, for
then
sure.
then the first team, like you said, they have to play the next round. The Packers would be San Francisco.
Right.
So it's like you got to get out of that second round. I don't know.
Right.
It's
But
going to be a
hey,
tough
look, if it ends up being
hill.
Packers Lions in the NFC
Oh,
champ
don't.
game,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, we gotta do a Packer Lions get together, man, because that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Gotta have some
That'd be
Packer fans
crazy.
over. Gotta have some Detroit Lion fans. I mean, you're the only
Oh, I don't know
Detroit
if I
Lion
could do it.
fan.
I'd be so anxious, man. But I would do it for you. I would do it for you. But I'd be so anxious. I'll be pacing. You'll never see
Oh
me
my goodness,
pace
and that's
like
what I
that
want to
before.
see. That's what I want
Yeah,
to see. I want to see Packer fans nervous. I want to see Detroit Lions nervous because I'm not a fan of either team. So it's gonna be fun, like looking from the outside in, like seeing how everybody's feeling, because that would be a fun game to watch.
yeah. And the nice thing about the Packers, they got their run game going too, which is
Yep.
really nice. The bittersweet thing about this gotta be for Packer fans is like I don't know if Joe Barry now will be let go. Like Joe
Oh,
Barry,
sure.
so we'll
Yeah.
see what happens there with their defense. But Yeah. You want to catch up with Drippy's comments?
Yeah, he said, of course. Well, no, he said, like they said last time, Packers had a win in an end game against the Bears and they won the bowl. That's true. The last time the Packers did have to do a win in game and play, and they did go to the Super Bowl, didn't they? Or won the Super Bowl that year with Aaron Rodgers?
That was they were the 6th seed.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So the Packers done this before. So I get where Drippy's saying with that. And then he said, of course we got to break that losing streak. I think he's talking about the Niners.
Yeah, that's fair.
Packers winning again. J Love is destroying that defense. Talking about the Lions.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, come on, maybe. The Lions' defense has been better, but yeah,
It has been.
Yeah. That could be a wild game, like because I don't think the defense for the Packers are going to be able to stop the Lions either. So could be a wild game. But Drippy, let's do it a game at a time. Okay, let's get through the Cowboys first, and then we'll talk about them beating the Niners.
He said Thanksgiving all over again.
Oh,
oh no.
Yeah, let's hope not. Drippy, why you gotta come on here like that? I don't understand. Throwing bullets. Yeah, come on. Let's focus on the Bears side of it. So
sure.
Justin Fields, he mentioned after the game. So he had an okay game. It wasn't that great. It wasn't awful, but it was okay. And he mentioned that it might be his last time as a Chicago Bear. As the Bears, if you're the GM, what do you do with having the number 1 overall pick in Justin Fields? What would you do with that situation?
Yeah, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm not moving on from Justin Fields. He's still young, 3 years, only been in the league for 3 years. He's still young. He still needs to learn the game and grow. I feel like if you move on from Justin Fields, it's too soon to move on from a quarterback that's going to start in his very first year, regardless of how good people think Caleb Williams or Drake May or I'm hearing Jaden, what's that other guy's name? Jaden
McDaniels.
McDaniels, right? Yeah. I don't see, I don't see how that's an upgrade because you're getting younger as far as from the quarterback position. Whereas Justin Fields has experience. You just need to keep trusting in Justin Fields, surround him and build. I think the Bears should go after Marvin Harrison Jr. and have him be next to DJ Moore. And Justin Fields needs weapons, bro. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of bogus. Like if he was like in his 8th year, 9th year, hasn't taken the Bears to the playoffs, then that's when you move on. It's like, okay, it's time to move on from you. Like it's only his 3rd year, bro. I think they're moving too fast. They shouldn't do that. That's a big mistake.
Yeah, and I think with your thought process is right, because the other part is like if he's regressed, you probably would move on from this point. But every year, if you look at his stats, he has gotten better.
He has.
He's played less games last year. I mean, this year than he did last year. So this year he only played 13 games. Last year he played 15, but he has passed for more yardage. He had almost the same amount of touchdowns, missing 4 games. He has thrown less interceptions, and his QB rating and is better. So like, and his completion percentage is up. So all I'm saying is like he has slowly progressed. So I'm with you. I would stick with Fields, and I would just surround him with as much talent as possible, like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, absolutely. Eric said trade the pick and build around Fields. So he thinks that they shouldn't even pick anybody. Do what they did last year with the Panthers. Trade that number 1 pick and just keep building like they did with the DJ Moore trade. I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a star caliber wideout this year, or in the NFL moving forward. I don't think you move on from Marvin Harrison. He is the most guaranteed.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he is the
I'm
most
with you now.
guaranteed prospect that I know for sure is going to have a successful career. I don't think you move on from Marvin Harrison. I don't think you trade that up. You grab Marvin Harrison if you're the Chicago Bears.
Right. So the question is like for Eric's point, right? Like, what if Washington, they're number 3?
2.
Who's number?
The Patriots are 3.
Okay. So what if Washington wants to make sure they can grab Caleb Williams, right? And they
Sure.
just want to move up that one draft pick,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Or like the Patriots really want Caleb Williams because like the Commanders are going to go after a QB too.
Sure.
So if you can trade down to 3 with the
Right. And
Patriots
still
and
get Marvin Harrison
right,
plus an
right,
extra asset. Yeah. I mean, I
right,
could
other
say it all
assets.
depends. It all depends on what the other teams are willing to give up too, though. You know, if they're
You're
just trying to
correct.
just swap draft picks and you're not getting anything, you might as well
No,
just
you
stay. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you'll have to get
You're gonna
something.
want some
You're right.
compensation for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we'll see what New England would be willing to give up to get the number 1 pick. I'd be really interested in that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I'm New England, you're good. You want a quarterback. Everybody's saying get Marvin Harrison Jr. The Bears should move on from Justin Fields, but I don't think if you're the Bears, you move on from Fields. So I think they go and
Mhm.
get Marvin Harrison. I don't think the Patriots are going to get Marvin Harrison Jr., where a lot of Pats fans do want him, but who's going to throw to him? Even if he did land it to the 3rd seed and the Bears ended up getting a quarterback, that doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. I
You
agree. I'm
know?
with you. I'm with you 100%. And like if you're the
Yeah.
Commanders or the Patriots,
Yeah.
you got to get a quarterback. Who's picking 4th, I wonder.
The Cardinals.
Okay, so that would be the one team that you wouldn't want to get behind because the Cardinals will probably keep Murray
Right.
and they would rather have the quarterback. Did you
Right.
want to go ahead and read Drippy comments?
Yeah. Drippy said after he came back from injury, Justin Fields came back crazy, won 4 out of the last 6 games, I believe. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like Justin Fields you guys can't move on. But the Bears can't move on from Justin Fields, bro. That's way too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
Yeah. And think of the Josh Allen trajectory. I think it was his first 3 years, and then eventually the 4th year he like exploded. It could be potential for Justin Fields that way too as well.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm just saying, you get a rookie quarterback as good as Caleb Williams is claimed to be. He's going to struggle with that Chicago Bears, what's surrounded by them. So that's not getting the Bears better.
No.
That's keeping them either the same as if he was with what they were with Justin Fields this year, or they're going to be worse. They're not going to get better. Like Caleb Williams is going to take them over the top into the playoffs and winning the NFC North. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. So my best bet is you just stay with Justin Fields and like what Eric said, just build around him.
Yeah. I think we agree on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else about the Bears or the Packers before we move on? We'll talk about the game in a minute. Anything else?
Yeah, I think that should be everything.
Okay, let's go to our next topic then. Let's talk about the Texans. I put Texans King of the South. We're gonna not just talk about the Texans, but even I think we'll bring up the Jaguars in this because I don't know, man. This is impressive what the Texans has done this year. They add CJ Stroud. They made a big trade. A lot of people were kind of against the trade when it happened, right?
Sure.
So for Mark Anderson, I believe. So there was a lot of negative comments towards the Texans this offseason, but Stroud was a hit. Their team has been so good, and it's like they win that game against the Colts. I don't know what the Colts are doing at the end of that game. I don't know if you got to like watch it, but it was like they were trying to waste time, and they waste too much time. Yeah,
Terrible
like
play
they were
call. You got to put Jonathan Taylor in that situation on 4th down.
100%, and also score first before you're worried about how much time's left on the clock. Like, can we focus on that first? I don't understand these teams. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. So yeah. The Texans end up winning, but on the flip side, the Jaguars at one point this season was 8. They were 8-3. Had potential for the number 1 seed, and they have fallen all the way out of the playoffs. So maybe let's start with the Texans. How are we feeling about them, their win against the Colts, and them moving forward?
Yeah, I'm just going to read these comments real quick, Ryan. Drippy said, Caleb Williams is another Bryce Young.
Interesting.
That might be a topic we might have to talk about later in the podcast.
Yeah.
Icon, what up, Icon? He said they are back and that he's liking the new setup.
Oh, thanks, Icon. It was all Isaac, every single part of it. I'm just here to do the like little headlines, Texans Kings of the South. Clever, Ryan.
Hey,
Clever.
Man, we're doing it's a team, man. It's a team effort. So Drippy said CJ7 is that man. So he's talking about CJ Stroud. And I believe and I agree with that, Drip. CJ's a monster. That's my guy. I told Ryan this earlier. if CJ didn't get hurt for that stretch, I think CJ was on the, in the conversation of MVP.
Yeah, it's
He was
crazy.
putting
Yeah.
up some crazy numbers. So it just sucked that he got hurt and he was out for a few weeks. But no, he's rookie of the year this year. And the Texans got a good future now, and it's good for Texans fans because it was kind of scary with that whole Deshaun Watson thing, and then moving on from Deshaun Watson, it was kind of like whoa, and then the whole thing with DeAndre Hopkins, trading DeAndre Hopkins, getting rid of Bill O'Brien, and it's like whoa, what are the Texans like? The Texans are just crumbling down. So it's amazing how fast they like recovered so quickly from all that. So
It's
it's great.
Yeah, it really shows that like the NFL is a quarterback driven league too, though, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Because like you get the right guy in there and it makes everybody's job easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, their defense has been pretty solid, not like the best, but it's been solid enough to help win games as well. They found some receivers, but really it's Stroud and the coach too, D'Amico Ryan should get a ton of credit for the way he has turned this culture and this team around to this year.
Right. That's
Flip
true.
side of it, the Jaguars, right? Like who lost us all. If they just had to beat the Titans and they kept shooting themselves in the foot. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of them. They fired their defensive coordinator today. What do you think about the Jaguars
Terrible.
and how
Choke job.
go?
If I can say anything about somebody choking on anything, it's the Jaguars choking. That's like the worst choke job in sports history. How are you 8-3 and you only managed to win one game
Yeah.
to close the season out?
Yeah.
That's terrible. And not and the losses that they lost to, Ryan, were to teams that had backup quarterbacks that didn't have their starting quarterbacks in the lineup. That's what makes it even worse. And then that tweet I think I sent you about the Jaguars Twitter was like, "Hey, our playoff tickets are on sale now." When they were 8-2 or 8-3. Oh my goodness, bro! That's like the biggest choke job I've ever seen in my life. That's worse than the Falcons 28-3. Nah, I'm just saying, nah, that was worse. But I'm just saying.
Well, no, that was that was worse. So to your point, let's just like go over the losses. So they lost to the Bengals. They lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
They lost to Baltimore. Baltimore, you can kind of understand. Browns, their defense is good. They only lost by 4. But the Bengals, they had a backup quarterback. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs just destroyed the Jaguars. Carolina was the only team they beat. And the Titans, they lost. And what's interesting is especially with the like Lawrence, obviously, I want to say this, Lawrence has been playing injured, but like what's interesting is how bad their offense of coordinator was to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it just some of the play calls were so stupid. I don't understand. Like, because we watched those games a little bit more closely for Luke's sake, and I just couldn't believe some of the play calls that they were calling out there. So it makes me question even like Doug Peterson as a head coach.
Yeah. You think Doug Peterson needs to get out of there?
I think
he's the answer?
Well, I would like to give him a year where he let's change things up. Let's get things a little better, one more year. But I would say, to me, I'm a little bit more doubting it. I also heard like his record, other than the year he went to the Super Bowl, is not very good as a head coach. But who was his quarterbacks? We just talked about how important that is. So I'd have to do, again, research. But I'm very disappointed in the Jaguars this season. So I'm on the fence on Doug Peterson, but I'd give him one more off season, one more year.
I don't know, man. If I'm the Jaguars, I'm getting rid of everybody after that. 8-3 and then not even making the playoffs. You can't. That's unacceptable, bro. And I told Luke this. I said they need to move to Omaha and become the Omaha Cheetahs, because they need to. This is terrible. That is just embarrassing. If I'm a Jaguars fan, I'm getting rid of the fan base. I'm getting rid of the ownership. I'm getting rid of the head coach. I'm getting rid of Trevor Lawrence. I'm getting rid of everybody. Everybody needs to get up out of there. That's embarrassing. Well,
I don't know if I get. Okay, let's not overreact, Isaac. Let's not overreact. But it's fair. It's a fair.
Oh man.
From your angle, it is a fair point. Like, this is embarrassing, but I definitely like, let's not overreact. It was
well, they need to change the Jaguars name. They could keep everybody, just change the name, change it to the Cheetahs. Maybe Tyreek Hill will join the team.
That would be funny. The Jacksonville Cheetahs. That'd be funny.
That's actually kind of good. I like that better than the Jaguars.
It is funny though. Like there isn't a cheetah football team. That would
That
be kind of
is.
a cool nickname.
I know
You
that
want to
would
catch
be.
up on some of the
Yeah,
comments real
yeah.
quick?
Icon was like, that is too funny. I think he was talking about when I was talking about them choking. And
Yeah,
then he said the 28-3 in a Super Bowl is very, very bad. And I agree. I was just trolling. I
yeah,
always troll Falcon fans. I love it. That was like the
yeah.
best Super Bowl I ever saw in my life.
That would be a
Ryan,
good.
I wish you knew me then. Oh, you won't believe.
I'm.
You don't
That's
know how
right.
happy I was that day, bro. And it was mixed emotions because I was so upset where I shut the
Yeah.
TV off at halftime. And then I was like, oh my God. And I just started jumping up and screaming and it's, oh, bro. I wish you guys knew me back then because that was like the best Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life. That's still the greatest Super Bowl of all time. I
Okay,
don't care what
so
anybody says.
it was funny because my parents came over for that Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
because it was 28-3 at halftime, they left. I was like, "Ah, you
Yeah.
guys might as well,
Like it was a
because it's not."
blowout. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I
Sure.
could not believe they came back. So
Oh,
it was
man.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Icon said when the Lions left Detroit, Pontiac Pussycats.
Why Icon Drippy? Let's talk about why are we throwing shots at the Lions? Like we haven't been good for years. Let's be nice to the Lions, okay? Come on, guys. Be nice to the Lions.
Oh my gosh.
The one year we're good and we're still getting shots thrown at us,
Hey, I'm
like
going for the Lions though, Ryan. I'm on your side here.
thanks.
Gotcha.
So, you ready to go on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of shots being fired, oh man, the Buffalo Bills end up winning the AFC East.
Oh.
I text you, and I said low key, like it's almost best if the Dolphins lose. You don't ever want to lose, but it's best if the Dolphins lose because I don't want to play the Bills twice. But what is so sad is, so you want to talk about job? Do you know what the Miami Dolphins record was at week 13, Isaac?
What was it? 9-3, 9-2,
9-3, 9-3.
9-3.
Do you want to know what the Buffalo Bills record
I
was at week
know.
13? 6-6.
Oh my God.
How in the world did this happen?
Bro, they still managed to win the AFC East. That is insane. The Dolphins had the number one seed locked. They had the AFC East locked just to choke it. But fair to say, though, in the Miami Dolphins defense, they're still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
We are so injured right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill didn't look too good at the end of that drive. He looked a little shaken up there. So,
yeah,
that's not a good sign. And he didn't even break the record.
Correct. Yeah, and I'm kind of glad he didn't because I'd have to put an asterisk around it anyway, and I don't want to do that as a Dolphins fan. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
but yeah, it's just like Josh. It goes back to like what we talked about with Tua. Tua is just not a game changer. He's a really good quarterback, but he's not a
Sure.
game changer. Josh Allen is in fact a game changer. There was some big third down conversions that he picked up based off his running, his arm, but especially like that there was a 3rd and 13 where he ran for the first down. They did that tush push thing that the Eagles perfected. So it's just like when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, he might do some boneheaded throws every now and then, but then you get the total package where he makes these throws that just are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous throws, and we got all of that from the Buffalo Bills, and why I think if you're a team in the playoffs, you don't want to play Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's getting hot at the right time, just like the Packers are. So, but the Buffalo Bills have a better seed than the Packers do. The Packers actually got to play on the road, where Buffalo got home field advantage. They don't have home field advantage as the number one seed like the Ravens, but they got home field advantage for the wild card in the second round heading into the AFC Championship game if the Ravens don't choke, against the Browns or somebody in the second round. So Buffalo could have the AFC Championship game in Buffalo if the Ravens get knocked out. So Buffalo is in a perfect position from where they were, not even a month ago. They were the 11th seed. We were talking about maybe they weren't even going to make the playoffs. So this is like, what a change of events this is for Buffalo. Like, it's really good for Josh Allen and the Bills. They're doing very, very well. And like you said, bro, I don't want to play the Buffalo Bills if I'm any team in the AFC East, and that includes, or the AFC Conference, and that includes the Ravens.
Oh yeah, no, because Josh Allen can win a game. Like that's the
Right.
thing is like you don't want to deal with that. Now on the Miami side, what I don't understand is like they were having success running the ball yesterday, and for some reason, like they only ran the ball three. They had the lead going into halftime in the
Mhm.
second quarter. I mean, in the to third quarter, I should say it was 0-0, and they only ran the ball like three times. Like
Crazy.
A-Chan had 5.6 yards a carry. Jeff Wilson had 5 yards a carry. Why are we not running the ball? The only thing I heard, which might be a good point, is maybe they're like, hey, this ain't our day. So why don't we just not run the ball so we can have that strategy when we get into the playoffs? Like let's hold it for the playoffs type thing. But I don't know if
I don't know.
that's like coping almost to me.
Low
I don't
key,
understand why
it is.
yeah. So
But
I don't
that,
understand why they're
but
running the ball more.
Tua isn't clutch, bro. I don't have no faith in Tua. That last drive there, they had the momentum. They stopped the Buffalo Bills on the 4th and inches. They had like plenty of time. I think the Miami Dolphins still had a timeout left during that drive.
They had enough time at the very least. I think they might have
Right.
used all their timeouts though.
Did they?
But yeah, I think so because I don't know for sure though. I'm not going to say that.
But
You might be right
regardless,
though.
yeah, but
Regardless, they had
regardless,
plenty of time.
plenty of
Yeah,
time, and
yeah,
Tua throws a pick. You can't do that, bro. So that
right.
just makes me feel like when it comes playoff time, and now the Dolphins are now, they got to go on the road now and do it on the road. They're not going to be doing it in Miami at home. So the Dolphins got a tough road now heading into these
Hmm.
playoffs. You know, they're gonna be on the road a lot. So I don't trust Tua now. I mean, well, I kind of never did, but I'm just saying heading into the playoffs now, him going on the road, I don't trust it, and I feel like Miami's gonna get bounced out first round maybe, or definitely against either Buffalo or, the Ravens for sure
Well, did you
down the
did you see
stretch.
the weather for Kansas City next week?
No, I didn't.
It's like going to be like -3 or something.
Oh yeah, and they're playing the Chiefs right away, huh?
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I do not think thanks Clint for sending me that. But basically he's like, so it says second half will be -18 degrees.
Icon said, "I have that Nautica shirt, the same one I'm
That's
wearing."
funny.
He said, and then Icon said, "I don't trust any pundits with Lions memorabilia."
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa!
whoa, whoa,
Oh, why
whoa.
is he coming at your neck, Ryan?
I don't know. What did I do? What did I do, Icon? Tell
Oh,
me.
oh
All I'm
God!
saying, you know,
Oh
all I'm
man!
saying, you shouldn't hate Lions because they have been like they haven't been anything. They haven't been anything. Like nobody
Right?
should be throwing shade at the Lions.
Oh man! He just came at your throat.
I know. I feel attacked right now.
But you like the Dolphins more than the Lions, though, right, Lion? Or right, Ryan? I
Yeah, they're
almost
my
said
yeah.
Lion. Lion, Ryan.
No lie.
I was like, right, Lion.
I I am a Dolphin fan, number one. My number two team is the Lions. Yeah, and that's largely because my dad's a Lions fan.
True,
So
that's fair.
yeah.
I don't knock you, Ryan. I mean, I'd knock you more for being a Dolphins fan than a Lions fan. But unless
So
Icon said unless it has the number 20 Barry Sanders, he said he can't trust it. Oh, and he got
yeah.
Barry.
So
Woo!
there you go, Icon. That's my favorite line of all time. That's why I root for the Lions. Is Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. You're not a
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson fan, Icon? Come on now. Yeah, he's
Oh,
right.
Mike dropped. Mike
Yeah,
dropped.
come on,
Oh.
come on.
Woo. He said
Okay.
all hope is restored.
Okay. Good. Good. Whew. Whew. Okay, we're on the same page. Okay then, man. So that's it on the Dolphins. We'll talk about the playoff preview as we get to that. But let's go to our last headline. We'll talk about very quickly. We're going to talk about some of the coaching news, coaching fires. So couple of big names: Arthur Smith, Ron Rivera was let go. There was a couple of DC's coordinators left go, offense and defensive coordinators. The GM for the Panthers was also let go,
I ain't
and he
surprised
should
by
be for
that.
that pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously we're still waiting word on Bill Belichick. So before we talk about Bill Belichick, because obviously you're a Patriots fan, we're going to hit on that. Let's talk about those other coaches. Any
Sure.
of them surprise you? Any
No.
of those? Okay, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Do you
Not
think
at
it was
all.
time to move on from Arthur Smith?
I believe so. I mean, he's
Okay.
really, I don't think, I mean, some people are saying, he wasn't there very long, so they didn't give him a fair chance. But it's like Arthur Smith, I don't even know who that was when he signed.
Oh yeah,
There's so many
sure.
other head coaching jobs that, or head people who were coordinators that deserved head coaching jobs. Like, what's his name from the offensive coordinator that left the Chiefs to go to be the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders?
Oh, the enemy. Yep.
Bieniemy. He
Yeah.
should have been, a head coach there. Look at Josh McDaniels going to the Raiders. Like, some of these people getting head coaching jobs don't deserve head coaching jobs. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of other candidates out there that deserve a head coaching job. I even like Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores did wrong, with the Miami Dolphins, Ryan. But, I think he's a very good head coach. And because he tried to sue the Miami Dolphins or try to, whatever that situation was, I don't know if that went anywhere. I didn't really follow that story very closely. But when it initially happened, I thought Brian Flores was a very good coach, former, Patriot defensive coordinator, or was he a special teams coach?
Special teams, yeah.
Special teams, but he was also a defensive coordinator too,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a good coach, man. I think he deserved a head coaching job. But Arthur Smith, I don't even know where he's from. So when he got initially signed or hired as the head coach for the Falcons, I was like, huh?
Well, so Arthur Smith was so just so you know, he was the Titans head offensive coordinator, and he was, I think, the coordinator of the year. The Titans got the #1 seed for
Was he?
the AFC.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he had like Tannehill and Henry, and he did what he could with those weapons, and I thought he did a really good job.
Okay.
Um,
This is
but
his second year as their head coach.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's gotten Kyle Pitts. He's gotten Bijan Robinson. And even though I did not agree with those picks, because you never draft a running back in the first round, in my opinion, and you never draft a tight end basically in the first round, definitely in the top 10, in my opinion. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but he did not use those weapons well enough. And it could have been the quarterback, to be fair, but that's your responsibility. You got to put the right person in place. And the quarterback yo-yoing he did with Heineke and
yeah, he didn't handle the quarterback situation very well.
Yeah, so. Correct. Yep. So I'm just saying, like, you're right. I think it's just kind of time to move on, because you spent a lot of resources in this offensive group that you're just not using, and that's why you ultimately have to move on from him.
Yep. Avery said, "Evening, gents. Bills run the East." Ouch.
Let's go, Avery. We just talked about that. You just missed it, which I'm happy about. I'm happy we missed that, but we are going to be talking about your game coming up in a minute, Avery. So you can give your thoughts about them and the Steelers. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it right now, Avery. I'm still broken. Okay. Bill Belichick, thoughts? What do you think's going to happen?
What I want to happen, or what do you think is going to happen?
Okay, let's talk about first. You're a Patriots fan. Tell me
what I want as a Pats fan.
Yeah. Tell me what you want.
I don't want Belichick to go as a coach, but I do want him gone as a GM. I don't want him running the GM. I don't want him doing draft picks. I think Bob Kraft actually has to hire an actual general manager, a real one.
Yep.
And actually get somebody in there to rebuild this team.
Yep. Okay.
I don't think you move on from Belichick. I don't think that helps us getting rid of him.
Correct.
As far as people feel like Belichick did Mac Jones wrong, and the moves and the suspect moves that he did, hiring Matt Patricia and Joe Judge taking turns calling the thing, and they feel like that ruined Mac Jones's progression. Maybe that, as far as maybe that's true, but he did hire an actual offensive coordinator this year for Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien, and Mac Jones did worse than he did last year.
Yeah.
So I'm not going with that. Mac Jones is garbage. Mac Jones is trash.
Yeah.
He's a bust. It's straight up. I feel bad for the kid, but he needs to go. Straight up. Like, maybe he'll be successful in another team, but he just doesn't fit Belichick's schemes. And Belichick is a tough coach to play for. Even Brady said that. He doesn't He doesn't sugarcoat stuff. He's a tough guy to play for, and that's what I like as a coach. He doesn't take crap from anybody, and he's a Hall of Fame coach, and he's one of the greatest to ever do it. So I think you give Belichick the benefit of the doubt, winning us 6 Super Bowls. He's the most winningest coach. He's trying to break the Don Shula record. Now, if I'm Bill Belichick, that's the question we should really ask. What does Bill Belichick want to do? Because I don't think with this roster and the team that we have now, I don't think Belichick's winning any games like that anytime soon, staying in New England. So it's really about what Belichick really wants. And I feel like as the Kraft family, they should really let Belichick decide what he wants. I feel like he deserves that option, and because of what he's done for us. So yeah.
It's funny, just to go along with you. I'm with you. That's what you would want as a Bills fan. Patriots fan. You want Bill to stay,
Sure, yeah,
but him to relinquish power.
Yes.
The other option is, if you can't do that, you want to trade him to get some assets for him, because somebody will give up some for Bill Belichick.
I was watching a podcast for that, Ryan, and I kind of agreed what these guys were saying on the Pro Football Talk. They were saying that would be very low of New England to trade Belichick.
If that's what Belichick wanted, is what I'm saying. If he wanted,
sure. If he wanted to do that, but I don't,
right.
As far as Belichick goes, I don't know him personally, obviously, but just based on how his demeanor is, I don't think that's what he wants to do either. If they're gonna part ways, they're just gonna part ways, and I feel like Belichick deserves that. He said sign Mac Jones to a 10-year deal.
Well, as a Dolphin and Bills fan, that's what we want.
Right?
Yeah. Get Mac Jones in there as long as possible.
No. It's crazy, but I know I'm getting off topic right here. I mean, it's still on topic, but I was like, the beginning of this year when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and Zach Wilson played for the Jets, those first 2 weeks, I was like, or the first 3 weeks actually, I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I know Mac Jones ain't no Brady, but he ain't no Zach Wilson. And man, as soon as after I said that, I was like, Zach Wilson's better than Mac Jones. And I thought I would never be able to say that. Coming from a Pats fan, I was like, whoa, Zach Wilson is better than Mac Jones. Mac Jones is trash. Yeah. He's worse. And a lot of Patriot fans, I remember on Patriots Twitter, everybody was like clowning Zach Wilson in the beginning of the year. Oh, yeah, we got a better quarterback than you guys. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No. Yeah. No, we don't. Mac Jones is garbage, bro. He's cooked.
Yeah. You're right. And the thing with unfortunately for Mac Jones is he had a really good rookie year, and I think the second year really broke him. When Matt Patricia is involved in anything, look at the Eagles right now. Just throwing that out there. When Matt Patricia's involved in anything, it seems to go pretty bad. So I'm just saying, I think that helped ruin Mac Jones. So
what's crazy though? In Matt Patricia's defense, right? When we won those Super Bowls, Matt Patricia was our defensive coordinator. I don't know what made Belichick feel like he should call offensive plays when he's a defensive mind.
I don't know either.
That's what doesn't make sense to me on that situation. But regardless, it's not like Matt Patricia was coaching Mac Jones for 3-4 years and to start his career and then ruined him. It was just 1 year. And I heard some people were saying, well, all it takes is 1 year to ruin a young quarterback like that. But you got Bill O'Brien coming in as an offensive mind. I should have saw more improvement from Mac Jones. So that's why I'm not trying to give Mac Jones no pass on that, because that's just, bro, you progress tremendously. When you were having Matt Patricia and Joe Judge calling you at least won us 8 games, and we almost potentially made the playoffs last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of how you do worse with a real coordinator.
Yeah, I would say it's hard because everybody's personality is different. So, but I listened to a podcast where they talk about how important confidence is for a quarterback, and once your confidence is shot, it's so hard to bring you back. Sure. So an example of this is Mark Sanchez, right? Mm-hmm. People forget he got to the AFC Championship twice as the quarterback for the Jets, right?
Yeah, he did.
So but then his confidence was shot and he never got back to that place. And then so it's sort of with Mac Jones. I'm just saying there is I think we'll never know, because I'm sorry. I saw what Matt Patricia did to the Lions. Okay. Just throwing that out there. I I don't know. I just don't understand the whole that. I
And sure,
think
and
that really
I get
wrecked
all the
him.
Matt
Yeah.
Patricia hate. A lot of
Yeah.
Patriot fans didn't like that, you know, and
Yeah.
I get that. But that's like why people were doing Mac Jones bogus last year. And I actually was a big Mac Jones defender. I was like, well, this isn't Mac Jones' fault. Why he regressed so much from his rookie year with Josh McDaniels and then with this, but then he really, really regressed when we got a real actual offensive coordinator. Like if Bill Belichick just stuck with Matt Patricia and was just like, hey, deal with it, whatever, and Mac Jones played even worse, then I'd understand. I wouldn't be so mad at Mac Jones,
Sure.
but Belichick did try to fix it. Bill Belichick did
Yeah.
try to give Mac Jones another opportunity. It's not like Bill Belichick didn't try to trust and believe in this kid and keep running with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't just be like, oh, the first week he did a terrible play and he just benched him. And
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
just
like
think his
flopping big back and
confidence.
forth. Yeah, I mean and what's crazy
Yeah.
is Mac Jones doesn't have that dog in him, bro. He doesn't.
Possibly,
So that
yeah.
goes with it too. Where when Brady, I've heard some actual clips of Belichick going at Tom Brady when Brady wasn't Tom Brady yet, and it was still Drew Bledsoe at the first string quarterback, and Brady did messed up, and Belichick was cussing him out, run that again, you ain't doing this right, and yelling at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then even when Brady was when they went 16-0, Belichick treated Brady like he wasn't anything.
Yeah.
So it's like Brady just has that dog in him, bro, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Some people got it, some people don't. Mac Jones
it's true.
not him, and it's okay.
It's true. But I wouldn't put the bar at Tom Brady. He's in a class
Did
of
we all
his own.
think Tom Brady was gonna be the greatest quarterback of all time? No, nobody.
No.
That.
I agree. But when you're comparing anybody to Tom Brady, they're gonna fall short. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
yeah, right.
But look at Jordan Love. Look what Jordan Love's. I mean, it could be the same shoes. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers ain't a 6-time winning Super Bowl champion, but that's still big shoes to follow, especially the quarterbacks came before Jordan Love. So Jordan Love, I feel like Jordan Love got a dog in him. Mac Jones don't. Woof,
okay,
woof.
Yeah.
He's a little puppy. Jordan Love is a pit bull. Woof, woof.
That's
Mac
fair.
Jones
That's
ain't that, bro. He's whimpering. He's still trying to wean off his mother still, and it's okay.
It's okay. Well, maybe a fresh start somewhere else will be good for him. But I think you're right.
I'm not trying to rip Mac Jones, bro. But I'm just done with him.
I don't blame you. Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, you got to move on from him. Now, Bill Belichick. Part of the reason why you don't want him as GM anymore, he didn't do a whole lot to help Mac Jones out as far as skilled position players.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. I hope you keep Bill Belichick for your sake. For me, I would like you to get a different coach just because
that's okay.
There's always that bit. Okay. Okay.
That's all right.
You want to move on to our awards for the year?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do this. I think it will be kind of fun. So if you're still in the chat, as we go over each of these,
to the 4 viewers still in the chat.
Yeah. Just throw in your award for each of these. So I made up some, and some are obviously actual awards. So the first couple are our own awards, and then the last couple are actual awards that the NFL hands out. So we're going to go ahead and start with our surprise. Who or what team is your biggest surprise of the year, Isaac?
Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, I like that one.
Cleveland Browns. Losing Nick Chubb, then losing Deshaun Watson at the end of the year, and they're still balling. I got the Browns upsetting the Ravens this year, the number 1 team, the best team in the NFL, with Joe Flacco at the helm. So, that's my biggest surprise team that really surprised me. But I could also say the Texans too, with C.J. Stroud. That's an honorable mention. The Packers could be a surprise as well in there because departing from Aaron Rodgers and us not being so sure of Jordan Love at the start of the year. I didn't think the Packers were going to be a playoff team. So it's out of those 3 teams, but the Browns, because they lost 2 of their key guys. Nick Chubb is a huge loss, and he got hurt in the beginning of the year, didn't he? Like the second week or third week?
Yeah, it wasn't too far after the year started,
Right, so, and it's the Browns. I mean, the Browns never make the playoffs, so.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Eric said the Texans. Yeah.
Yeah, so did Avery. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of unanimous on the Texans. I'm kind of with you on the Browns. That's a really good pick. I'd like to throw this wasn't a surprise for Eric, but for a lot of other people, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning their division. Now it is the lowly South, but a lot of people didn't have them even competing in the division. But I also want to put the Rams in that category because I'm surprised that they went 10-7. I'm surprised they kind of made the playoffs personally because they just seemed last year like they were done and they were able to get back on, and some of the like Puka and I the Williams, their running back, their defense looks a little better, and they were able to get to the wild card and get into the playoffs. I was surprised I did not make that pick, and it's a pleasant surprise because obviously I love Matthew Stafford, so that was good. Yeah, yeah,
I'm not getting the YouTube comments, guys. Oh yeah, there I go.
yeah. I yeah
Okay.
I,
It's
yeah.
not popping on my my multi-stream chat, but it's popping on the actual thing in the on the screen. So I just got to look at that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, otherwise I'm on YouTube, so I'm watching it
Okay,
too.
cool.
So
So my
yeah.
bad, guys, if I don't catch the comments.
Okay, let's go to our next award, the most disappointing, the biggest disappointment this year. What's the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year for you, Isaac?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. You can't be 8-2 or 8-3 and miss the playoffs. That just cannot happen. I could also say the Miami Dolphins,
Don't say the Dolphins. Oh,
but
come on,
I'm not gonna
bro.
do it. I'm not gonna
No,
do it,
no, don't.
Ryan, because
Thanks,
they're still in the
thanks.
playoffs.
That's
So I
that's
would say
fair.
my biggest disappointment is the Jaguars because the Jaguars were looking really nice this year.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
had the Jaguars, but I'll do an honorable mention to the Los Angeles Chargers. I
mm,
I knew they were gonna. I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I thought they'd be 9-8. I did not think they'd be 5-12. Clearly, they should have moved on from their head coach this offseason, and they did not. And
sure.
as yeah, so anyway, the Chargers for me is a big disappointment because they just did not play very well. So bad record. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh
that's a good one. But the only reason why I wouldn't say the Chargers is because I never really believed in Justin Herbert. Anyways, I don't just see. I know everybody raves about him. A lot of people saying he's like a top 10 quarterback. He hasn't really surprised me or like wowed me. I think Jordan Love's done more than Justin Herbert, and you can't tell me
yeah.
Justin Herbert don't got weapons. Keenan Allen and all these other guys that he has, and then Austin
Yeah.
Eckler in the back, like, and they got a really
They,
great defense too.
they got so well, I just think the coach was so bad, but I'm not just I'd rather have Justin Herbert than Tua personally, but because his arm. I'm in love with arms. I got a fetish for arms, like arm
Okay,
talent. That
okay,
you know me. I like
sure.
and some of the passes that he can make is ridiculous, but I do agree with you. It'd be nice to see a little difference. A little bit winning. He needs to win. So,
What was his stats
but
this year though? Let me look at him real quick.
Herbert stats.
Yeah, did he have good stats at least?
He let's see here. He only played 13 games. He had over
Uh,
3,000
20
yards,
and
20
7,
touchdown and 7. Yeah.
93.2 passer rating. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
he didn't do too bad with all the problems, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
We'll
not
see what they
sold on
do.
Justin
If it's
Herbert.
another yeah, if another coach comes in and they don't do well, then
Justin Herbert's a
yeah.
bust.
Yeah, well, or he's just going to be like an Andy Dalton type or something like that. But yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Josh Allen MVP. We're not to the MVP yet, Avery. You're not to the MVP. You're jumping the gun. But who's that? Jaguars?
Yeah, that's Eric. He said
Eric
Jags are the
Jaguars. Yeah,
most
that's a good one.
disappointing for him. So he picked the team that I chose for that.
Yeah, and I agree. By the way, I was just doing some honorable mentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So surprise for us, the biggest one. I'm gonna give it to you. Browns. We'll give we'll vote both votes. The Browns. A disappointment. We'll go Jaguars. Most improved. What would you say? It could be player or
Oh, a
team.
player or a team?
Yeah. Who most improved? Who would you give that to?
For the team, I would say the Lions for sure.
Okay.
Most improved. Um, and I would have to go with For a player, I would say Jordan Love,
Yeah.
most improved, because he
You
had
don't
he had
have
a
to
lot
pick.
he had a
You don't
lot
have
to
to pick
prove.
a player
But
though.
but it's but it's
You don't
but
have to,
but it's
you don't
just
have to do
it's
that.
hard because it's not like he played last year and he did terrible. But it's
Uh,
just there was a lot at stake and a lot of questions that I think he answered for a lot of Packer fans that I have to go with Jordan Love because looking at his numbers really impressed me. So it's like, whoa, I didn't think Jordan Love was balling out like that.
how about
Oh,
this for
Baker
play?
Mayfield,
I was
Eric. That's
yeah,
right. Yep,
yeah,
Baker Mayfield. I totally forgot
that's what
about
I was
Baker.
gonna
That's right.
say.
Yeah, Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield. Yep. Eric
Yeah,
got it. Eric
that's
won that.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, that was a good one,
that
Eric. I
is a
was
good one.
gonna shout him out,
It's
but
a
he
good one.
beat me to it. But
Yep,
whatever for player.
yep.
Um, that's a good one.
That
28
is.
and 10, by the way, for his numbers, touchdown interceptions, 28 and 10. That's pretty good.
Yep.
For team, my most improved. The Bears kind of came on really late this season. They looked really solid. I would like to just give them a shout out as far
Okay.
as most improved, but it's got to be the Texans, right? They went from picking number 3, 2-3 last year, and they got all the way to the playoffs this year. So
Okay.
to me, that's the most improved team in my opinion.
Yeah. It's just I picked the Lions because the Lions really are now a team to be taken seriously now.
Hmm.
So that's why I
Yeah.
chose the Lions because the Lions are always a joke every year. So it's just like now this year after heading in after how they ended last year and how they kept it going this year, that's where I was just like, yeah, they're the most improved. They're here now. The Lions are here
Well,
in
according
my
to
eyes.
Icon, they're still a joke. So, no, I'm
Well,
just kidding.
Icon thinks everything's a joke when it comes to Detroit, the
That's
Pistons
fair.
too.
Yeah, except Barry Sanders. So,
Right.
okay, okay, nailed it. Okay, this is a word we're kind of giving ourselves some kudos. So for everybody else, if what was the thing that you nailed that you knew becoming into the season that you were fairly confident in, and then at the end of the season you got right. Isaac, what is the award for like the nail it reward? What did you nail?
For
What's the
me,
thing that you're most proud of that you got right? Yeah.
like before the season started,
Yeah, correct. Yep.
I don't know. I don't think I had any predictions for the
Okay.
NFL.
Okay.
Um, I
That's
guess
right,
what
because
I
we
would
didn't.
say, yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say, so not surprised or me thinking before the playoffs or before the season ever started that I knew the Niners were going to be one of the best teams. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could say I nailed that because the
Mm-hmm.
Niners are. Um, but I didn't think the Ravens would be this good.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
fair. Yeah.
so yeah. Honestly, I didn't really. I guess I could nail that the Pats are gonna suck. I knew they were gonna suck. I got that right. So
Are you proud of that?
absolutely, absolutely. I love
Okay,
Brady,
fair.
man. It was all Brady, man. It was all
Yeah.
Brady. Love you, Tom.
Bucks winning the South, Eric says. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bucks
Yeah,
winning
that
the
was his
South. Okay.
pick. Yeah, he picked that.
Honestly, didn't I
But
didn't really have a lot of expectations for Tampa Bay, so they really surprised me this year.
well, I don't know if I told you this. So we do like team previews, and I grabbed I grabbed Eric, and we did the entire NFC South. And the one thing he was like, well, people are forgetting the amount of players that are good on this roster. And as I was going through the depth chart, I'm like, Eric, you're right. I can't believe how many like really good players are on this team still. And that was his argument for why the Bucks will be fine. He's like, Baker just has to play good enough, and that's kind of what happened. And the Saints kind of fell off too. Like they think I thought the Saints would win 10 games and they only got to 9. So
Sure. Here, hold on, Eric. I'm sorry, Ryan. I just got to stop the stream real quick because we have a sponsor with Starry Lemon. Starry
oh
Lemon
sure,
Lime
sure.
Soda. Just want to say it's a crispy taste. Now, just kidding. What if they sponsored us one day, like the Starry Lemon drink? That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well then that means I'm sponsored by water. So
Oh God.
can water be a sponsor?
Oh
Okay.
gosh, man,
That's
right?
great.
That'd be awesome one day if we get sponsored for doing this stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be. But let me give you my nailed it. I was right about the Lions. I said they'd win the North. I wasn't worried. Um they went I think them winning 11 games. They're 12-5, so that was fine.
Okay.
And then the other one I nailed, and I said the Bills would win the East. And
Mm.
even though it was a nail biter, I was right about it. And I want to just, do a sort of a walk of shame of sorts because I was right about that when the Dolphins could have totally won it. But anyway, those were two picks that I nailed. So
Okay, nice.
yeah. Okay, MVP. Who's your MVP?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's mine too.
I think he ran away with that after that Niners victory and then beating the Dolphins. So, and it was not even close. So
Yeah, and Avery said Josh Allen before, and it's just like I get like he's your MVP, that's great, but like he just played too inconsistent throughout the season to
yeah,
in my opinion to be MVP. But he's I don't know, he's still a great quarterback, so don't get me wrong,
Christian
but just
McCaffrey. Eric said that's a good one.
that is a good one. Unfortunately, Eric,
They
we
lost though to
know
the
how
Ravens.
and we know how this works. It always goes to
Quarterbacks.
quarterbacks, yeah. For
Who
non-quarterbacks. So he
the
mentioned that.
last the
Okay.
last non-quarterback to win the MVP award was Adrian Peterson, correct? In 2011.
I believe so, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. That just goes
Yeah.
to show. It's just like, man, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Rookie.
Megan said Tua for not getting concussed.
Well, hey, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Now my wife's taking shots at me. How do I feel about that?
Is she a Dolphins fan?
She roots for them. She's a Packer backer. But we haven't watched a lot of Packer games. There's been a lot of Dolphins and Lions, so
Oh, what a good wife.
I know. She's supportive.
She got your back. Even
Yeah,
being
she
a
told
Packers fan too. Whew.
Yeah. Well, she
Oh
told me
man.
like that's how she knew I was loyal is because I was a Lions fan. Like that I rooted for the Lions and how bad they've been and I kept with them. So
Oh
that's how she
man.
knew I was loyal. Yeah.
She said she thinks she's officially a Dolphins fan now.
Oh, let's go.
Ooh.
Conversion.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Let's go.
you brought her over to the dark side, Ryan. Well, actually, no, she was already on the dark side to begin with, but you brought her to an actual lighter
Yeah.
presence now.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah, I think
dark
so.
though. It's still dark. It's not like super dark, but you brought her
That's
somewhat
fair.
into the light.
Yeah, I think I got her there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, rookie of the year?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think there's arguing there.
Hmm.
Defensive player of the year.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Bland did really good with all those pick sixes.
Oh yeah, yeah, for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Bland was really really good.
Mm-hmm.
An honorable mention, Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really dissect it too much.
Yeah, I
for the
went with
defensive player of the years.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
I went with
Really?
Miles Garrett.
Really?
Yeah, they have the best, like one of the best defenses, if not the best defense. His numbers
Okay.
are really good. So I went with Miles Garrett because, like you said, part of the reason why the Browns are a surprise for you was because they lost so many of their
Key offensive players.
offensive players. So the defense, there was a lot more on the defensive side of the ball, and the biggest leader in that obviously is Miles Garrett. So I have
Hmm.
Miles Garrett had 14 sacks this
Okay.
year, 17 tackles for loss. So I'm giving it to Miles Garrett.
Okay, that's fair. I ain't mad at that. I didn't really dissect into all the defensive players this year, like to see who stand out or who
Yeah.
stood out. I really just been hearing a lot about Micah Parsons and Bland a lot because Bland was getting all those interceptions,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't just interceptions; he was taking them back to the house too. So,
Right.
that's pretty impressive. Eric said Antoine Winfield Jr.
Homer pick.
Homer pick. Yep.
You can't listen to that kid sometimes. Now, I want to give an honorable mention too to TJ Watt. I think he led
TJ
the league in
Watt.
sacks.
Yes, he did.
19 sacks. Yeah, he led the league
It's
in
just the
19
Steelers
sacks.
suck though.
Well, they're in the playoffs.
Barely. The
Yeah.
Ravens gave him that,
Probably,
and then the
but-
Jaguars just choked it.
Yeah, but they're in. Yeah,
Yeah.
But again, the
Eric
only way
said
they
check
would
the stats.
check the stats. Well, but I mean, are they better than Garrett's stats? Like, come on. Come on. I'll check the stats for you, Eric, but you know you're a homer. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Bobby Wagner.
I think someone's trolling you. Don't listen to Bobby Wagner.
No, he leads the league in total tackles.
Yeah, but
3.5 sacks a
nah,
game. Is
it's
that what that
okay.
means? Then you had 3
total. I think total 3.5 stats. Sacks. So Antoine Winfield had 6 sacks. He had 122 total tackles,
Oh my
3
goodness.
interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries. I think if I read that right.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Let
But
me
no
see.
touchdowns on defense. Wow,
Where's
Eric.
what's Miles Garrett's stats?
Oh man, we're really dissecting this here. Let's Miles Garrett stats. He had 14 sacks. Let's see here.
He did?
Yeah, he had 14 sacks, I'm pretty sure. Let's
Wow.
see. He had 14 sacks.
So
40
why is number 1 Bobby Wagner on ESPN? He got 96 solos, 183 total.
tackles?
Yeah.
Well, he could have had a lot of tackles.
They go off tackles then? Is that what that
Yeah,
is that why he's
yeah.
okay.
They're going off of tackles, whatever that site you're using. I like so he like Miles Garrett has 14 sacks, 4 first fumbles, one uh kick block. He has 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. What is this?
Oh
3
yeah.
pass defended.
Yeah, he's tied
Yeah,
5th.
yeah. So I don't know.
What about the guy from the Cowboys?
Parsons or
Bland.
Bland? Let me look here. We're gonna figure it out, guys. We're gonna figure out who, in fact, is the defensive player of the year. I still think it's Garrett, but I don't know. I could see Winfield, I guess.
Okay, Bland got 53 solo. He got 68 total. He got 1. Oh no, never mind. I'm reading the wrong one. Oh my goodness, he got 9 interceptions and 5 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Bro, it's got to be Bland, bro. It's got to be Bland.
Man.
69 total tackles. He got no sacks though. He got no forced fumbles though either, so that could play a factor. But he got 209 yards and 5 touchdowns, bro. His longest was a 63-yarder return. He got 15.
Yeah.
He got 15. I don't know what PD stands for. Is that deflections?
Yeah, that's pass deflections.
Okay. Yeah, he got 15 pass deflections.
Yeah, maybe it is him. Those interceptions, man.
5 touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, that's hard to do as a defender.
That is. So I was right. Bland, baby. Defensive player of the year. It's Bland. It's got to be Bland. When I saw all those interception pick sixes, and I think he had like 3 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah.
I think he had 3 pick sixes in one game, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, whoa. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, offensive player of the year.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. Who's your offensive player of the year?
It's either going to be Christian McCaffrey or Lamar Jackson for offensive player of the year.
Okay. I think Tyreek Hill is in there too. I'd go Christian McCaffrey though.
Tyreek Hill, yep.
Yeah, I would go McCaffrey, but Hill, and then there was one other I wanted to shout out. CeeDee Lamb. He had a back half of the year. Wow, amazing stats and stuff. So CeeDee Lamb also gets an honorable mention, but I think it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yep, Christian McCaffrey, offensive player of the year. Yep.
Okay, let's go to our last topic. We're going to talk about playoffs, matchups, predictions. Let's.
Megan said if it's the general public's opinion counts, it will be Travis Kelce.
Oh, that's true.
Because of the Taylor Swift stuff.
Yeah,
all the Taylor Swift fans are gonna vote Travis Kelce.
That's a fair point. He might win it.
Oh, right.
That's a fair
I
point.
like how you did this. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah. So
screenshot that?
yeah, I found it. Yeah. So it gives us the matchups and stuff like that.
And the
Okay, so let's
seating too.
talk.
That's pretty cool.
So we're not going to talk about Baltimore or San Francisco this week because obviously they're not involved in the playoffs.
Right.
But what we will do is talk about the other matchups, and I'm just gonna just move it over a bit, Isaac, for us.
Okay.
Um, but so let's start with that first matchup on there. The Browns versus the Texans. Who do you got in that game? What are you thinking we're gonna see?
Browns Texans. I think the Browns are gonna win. Based on their defense, I think C.J. Stroud, even though he's played great this year, I just think experience is gonna outweigh the inexperience in that game. And I just think the defense for the Browns is gonna give C.J. Stroud a lot of problems. In his very
Yeah.
first playoff game. But I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, C.J. Stroud has been playing good, but I'm just gonna go with my gut as far as experience always outplays inexperience. So
Yeah, I'm
especially in
kind
the
of with you.
playoffs.
Right. Yeah. And you look back at that Colts game, it was pretty close. The Colts, they're a solid team, but I don't think they're the Browns. So I'm with you. I'm gonna go to the Browns are gonna beat the Texans.
Hmm.
Um, it's gonna be, I think it should be a good close game. I could see though if the defense shows up for the Browns, it could get out of hand. So that's my fear. I want these games to be close
Me
as a
too.
football fan. So I hope it stays close. I'd love to see Stroud with the ball with a chance to win or tie the game, kind of to end the game and that to go either way for excitement and drama. But I'm with you. I'm going to go with the Browns mainly because they have the best unit on the field, which is their defense.
Right.
Okay, Miami at Kansas City. We already talked about the weather. Second half, -18 degrees
Mm,
in Kansas City.
mm.
Not looking good for the Dolphins. Who you got winning this one?
I have to go with the Chiefs, man.
Yeah.
I have to go with the Chiefs. Despite all the drops that the wide receivers have this year or had this year, I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City and Arrowhead. It's tough to play in there, especially in the playoff time. This is when it's do or die. I'm gonna ride with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. They've been the best duo. They're the new Brady and Belichick of this era now. So, despite like I said, despite their struggles this year, I'm not counting out the Kansas City Chiefs because people used to do that to New England all the time. When New England used to have their struggles, be like, "Oh, the dynasty's over. The Brady's washed up." Blah 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 blah. Blah. Patrick Mahomes, I don't think anybody wants to play him in the playoff time. Come playoff time, so they're at home. If it was Miami and Miami was on a hot streak, I'd probably go Dolphins. But despite, I also got to worry about how healthy Tyreek Hill is too. The Dolphins look kind of banged up too. So it would be great if the Dolphins won. I'd be rooting for the Dolphins because I'm sick of the Chiefs. But it would be kind of cool to see Tyreek Hill throw up the deuce sign and Arrowhead towards them and win the game. That would be kind of cool to see. But I just don't see it happening. I don't trust Tua.
Yeah, as a Dolphin fan, I would pick the Chiefs as well. The way the Dolphins are going to win this game is by running the ball.
Isaiah Pacheco is amazing.
Yeah, the Chiefs can win the game by running the ball too, but the thing with the Dolphins is all their defensive linemen are injured. They've
Chubb's
lost all
gone.
their edge
Hmm.
rushers. So I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to have all day to throw the ball, which will allow them to move downfield and give the receivers time to get open, even though they can't, but they will eventually because that's the way it always works out. So the Dolphins, in order to win this game, have to commit to the run. And unfortunately, like that's the one I love Mike McDaniels. He's like my favorite head coach of all time right now. Like as a Dolphin fan,
Hmm.
he's so fun. He's
Better than Don
unique.
Shula.
Well, I never got to like
See
I
Don
should say in
Shula
my
in
lifetime.
your life. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah. Let me rephrase that. Yes, good correction, Isaac. Favorite in my lifetime, my favorite Dolphins head coach. But the problem is that he doesn't always commit to the run when the run's working because I don't know if it's a thing he wants to show how good Tua can be. I don't know if it's just part of the scheme. Like you want to get Tyreek the ball and Waddle the ball but if they can commit to the run, they'll have a shot at this game. I think it will be close
I think it'll
because
be
I
a
don't.
close game.
Yeah, yeah, because the Chiefs' offense is not. not clicking right now. So I think it'll
Right.
be close, but I do think the Chiefs win. If I had to pick a score, I'd be like, it's probably going to be like 21-17, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, the score for me would probably be like 24-17 or 24-20,
Hmm.
something like
Yeah,
that. I just don't
sure.
trust Tua in the clutch.
Yeah,
Based on what I
I
saw
know.
that last game, and despite, we got to find out how healthy Tyreek Hill is too,
Right. Right.
because Tyreek looked kind of shaken up there. But if Tyreek's good to go, I guess we're just gonna have to see,
Yeah.
see if Tua really can, prove us wrong. That's really what it all comes down to. Despite this is a perfect opportunity to get the Chiefs, because this is the worst they've been in this since they've been going to the AFC Championship game into the Super Bowl. This is the worst
Right.
Chiefs team that's entering the playoffs since Patrick Mahomes been their quarterback. So this is the perfect opportunity to get them. This is when they're the most vulnerable. So, but like I said, I don't trust Tua. I don't see them winning this game, especially it's an Arrowhead. So
Yeah, and the home field and the weather is going to be a huge
a
factor
huge
in this
factor,
game. So
absolutely.
okay, let's go to the last game in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Buffalo to play the Bills. What's your thoughts on this one, this game?
It's definitely Buffalo. They're the
Yeah, I'm
hot
with you.
team. This ain't even gonna be close. This is gonna
Okay,
be this is gonna be a this is gonna be a bloodbath for the Buffalo Bills. It's gonna be
okay,
like 56 to like 0.
okay.
I don't even see this. It's gonna be
But
and I think Josh Allen got a lot to prove because he's struggled this year. A lot of people doubted Buffalo. I see Buffalo. It's their very first home game to start the playoffs. They're the number 2 seed. They just won the division. They went into Miami, beat the Dolphins. They're on a big, huge high right now. They're on a great. They ended the season perfectly, in my opinion. They're the hottest
mhm.
team in the AFC right now, in my opinion. So I think Buffalo is gonna smack the crap out the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna pretty much tell Pittsburgh that they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs to begin with, and they shouldn't have
Yeah.
been in the playoffs. Sorry, Mach, I know you're a Pittsburgh fan, but yeah, no, I wouldn't even turn the game on if I was you, bro. Don't even watch this game.
I won't go that far, Machi, but I will say I do think the Bills win this. I'm going to say like 31-10. I just don't trust their offense to move the ball.
That's still
It
a
really just
blowout.
what?
That's still a blowout.
Well, it's not 56. Listen, let me
I thought he was
pretend.
gonna say
Let
like
me
28,
pretend.
21 or 28,
No, no, no,
17 or
no.
something. He said 31 to
No.
10. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's still a
Well,
blowout.
it's gonna be like 17-10 at halftime, and then like I think they'll score 2 touchdowns in the second half to put it away. That's sort of what I
Okay.
mean by not like a blowout, like 56 points. They gotta like hammer it home right
Well,
away.
Buffalo did blow out Miami in Buffalo
Well,
earlier
let's
this
come
year,
on.
right?
Why are we
So
stop?
I'm just saying.
The biggest the biggest Steelers will be without TJ Watt.
There you go.
So that's why I think I don't
Who's
think
their
it'll be
quarterback? You think Mason
Mason
Rudolph?
Rudolph.
You're giving Mason Rudolph 10 points? That's being too nice.
I think that's
It's
that's like
being
a
too
pick six
nice.
from Josh Allen, and that's not totally out of the realm of possibility.
Oh gosh.
That's great.
Uh,
Okay, so we're both in agreement. So you have KC Buffalo advancing, and that means
Cleveland.
that would be the second round, and Houston and I'm sorry, the Browns will play Baltimore. That would be a fun
Oh,
second round.
I'm rooting
Don't
for that so hard, bro. I'm
well,
rooting that
the only
Joe
thing I'm
Flacco
rooting
going up
for
against Baltimore. Oh, that's gonna be such a good game.
I want the Dolphins to win, but yeah, that wouldn't be a bad second round. So I'm rooting for the Dolphins to win. I want
Yeah.
them to win,
No,
but it's a tough one. Yeah,
don't win Dolphins, because then Miami would
stop
play
it.
Baltimore, and that's not even gonna be a game. So
Well, come on. Let's move on to the
you
NFC.
got a tough road,
NFC,
Brian. You got a tough
yeah,
road. You got Kansas City
NFC.
and Baltimore, and then potentially Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl.
I just want to talk about the NFC. Let's
Oh
Okay, let's move to
gosh.
the NFC. So the first game on our chart here will be the Eagles against Tampa Bay.
Mhm.
Uh what do you think, man?
Well, this is like a toss-up one.
It is.
It's like anybody could win this because Philly has played like complete trash to
Yeah,
close out the
and
year.
Brown's injured. AJ Brown, so
Yeah,
we don't know
AJ
if he's going
Brown's
to play.
injured. That's right. And, Tampa Bay's not like the most scariest team, but Tampa Bay could potentially win this game. I could see
Yeah.
Tampa Bay stealing one and going to the divisional, and I didn't think that would happen. I thought, maybe Tampa Bay would get bounced out first round, but now I'm thinking Tampa Bay could get to the divisional round based on how Philly's been playing. So it's really up for grabs at that point. But if I had to choose who I'm rooting for, I hate Philly, so I'm going Tampa Bay all day.
Okay.
I'm
So
going
do
for
you think
Tampa Bay to
Tampa Bay
win.
is going to win?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm rooting for them.
Okay. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay as well. I just don't
Yep.
like the vibes out of Philly right now.
No,
That's part of
they're
it.
not the same
Like you
team.
said. Right. And I don't trust Matt Patricia as far as I can throw him. And that ain't very far, if you've seen my muscles. And then, or lack thereof, I should say. And then the other thing is the AJ Brown thing concerns me. And I think Baker can play good enough and that defense can play good enough to edge out the win. I think I would say this game was going to be like 20, 23, 16, something like that.
You said
Yeah.
2016?
23,
Oh,
16.
23-16. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like 2017 or 17-14.
Okay.
But
Nice.
it'll be like, I think it'll be like by like a field goal. I think Tampa Bay wins it by a field goal.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
yeah, or a touchdown, like you said. It's 23-16. That's
Yeah.
pretty on the head right there. But
Yeah. Close
Tampa
game.
Bay. Yeah.
Let's go Tampa. Okay. Let's talk about the LA Rams going to the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford returns.
That's
I
gonna
am
be a good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good game. What's your thoughts, man?
I got Detroit. I think by 2 touchdowns. I think it'll be like
Okay.
28-14 or 28-17. I just think the Lions fans in Detroit, is this their first playoff game
Yeah.
at home?
In a long time,
Oh
man.
my God, is that place gonna be jumping? So yeah, Detroit's winning this game by 2 touchdowns, maybe more. It's I feel like they're gonna be on a very high. I think Dan Campbell's gonna get them prepared, ready for this game. I think Jared Goff's going to have a good game. I think Gibbs in the running game, Montgomery's going to have a good rushing game this game. And Amon-Ra, is that how you say his name? Amon-Ra
Yeah,
St.
St.
Brown.
Brown.
St.
Yeah.
Brown's going to have a good game. I think they're all going to have a good game. And even the tight ends. And maybe possibly the offensive lineman might catch some touchdowns too, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the refs will report them. So couple concerns just on the other side. So McVay does know Goff. So there's that concern.
Sure.
Stafford is the better quarterback in this game. And then the other concern is Laporta, I think, is going to be out. He's not playing because he got injured, which is huge for the Lions. Not what you want to hear right now because they were finally getting healthy for this run. So I'm going to pick Detroit. I think you're right. I'm going to pick 34-23. I think they're going to be a close game, and then the Lions will kick a field goal or score a touchdown to make it a 2-possession game and win the game.
Okay.
But I do think they're going to get out to an early lead, and then as emotions kind of slow down a little bit, the Rams will kind of claw their way back in it for then the Lions to push to get that last score to put it out of reach. But so I have 34-23 Lions.
Gotcha. That's good.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Okay, let's go Green Bay Packers, another real fun one, classic against the Dallas Cowboys. Who you got, man?
I got the Cowboys. I'm just gonna go Cowboys because just gonna go Cowboys just because based on how they've been playing at home. I think Mike McCarthy gets back at his old team. I think he's gonna have a great scheme defensively against Jordan Love. Jordan Love, this is his very first playoff game, so I know there's gonna be some inexperience in there. And I just feel like Dak Prescott's played great this year. A lot of people really haven't been giving Dak Prescott his props, and he's actually played very, very well. So I'm for Dak's sake, for Mike McCarthy's sake, you better not lose this game. If you lose this game, Mike McCarthy can kiss his coaching career goodbye. Dak Prescott, I think that would not be the quarterback moving forward if he loses this game. This is a very, very important game.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think McCarthy goes for sure. If they lose.
I think I think they both leave.
Oh man!
Just based on because they haven't been winning playoff games. They only won one playoff game in Dak since Dak took over. So you can't lose. You can't lose this game. You can't.
Correct.
You can't lose the divisional round either. So if they lose the NFC Championship game, I can see both of them staying and running it back. But they got to get. I think the Cowboys have to get to the NFC Championship game for their jobs to be safe. As far as
That's
Dak
fair.
and McCarthy goes, they better not lose this game. They got to win. This
Yeah.
is a must-win for the Cowboys.
I agree with that part of it. I think if they don't win, McCarthy's definitely gone. I don't know about Dak yet. We'll see, because you know how Jerry Jones gets attached to his players, and
Sure, but
so there might be that part of it. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying, like, I could see Jerry Jones sticking up for Dak. We'd also have to know, like, what the contract all
sure,
involves.
yeah.
But it could be, man. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys too, but let's face it, for me and you, Isaac, this is no matter who loses, we win. Right? Like,
No,
if
Packers
if
gotta lose. We live in Wisconsin, Ryan. Cowboys can win because I don't think the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, so they'll fall later. But the Packers, I cannot see the Packers going any farther than where they've already been. So no.
well, let me make the argument though. Like, the drama that comes out of Dallas if they lose would be amazing. Okay,
Oh man.
so we would win in that aspect. But you're right. Personally, we kind of want Green Bay to lose this. Here's the other thing for me. I don't know if I want Detroit to go to Dallas, right? Because
Okay.
we
Why not?
the refs because refs keep screwing us over every time we're in Dallas.
But
Every
that's
time,
what-
man.
but-
Every time.
Ryan, I gotta play some James Brown payback for you, baby, because
Okay.
they need to get some payback from that game. That I need to see a Detroit. I need that rematch. I need Detroit back in Dallas. I need Detroit to beat Dallas by 40 points if that happens, if they meet in the divisional round. You can't be afraid. Don't run away from the competition, Ryan. You want to get to the Super Bowl, you want to win the right way, you got to go through the bully. And the Cowboys stole that from you guys. Guys got to go take back what is yours.
So I agree to his. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I'm worried about the officiating. Just because this would be every time we seem to go to Dallas, a call goes against us.
I feel like
that's
Dan
what I'm worried
Campbell,
about.
Look, if Dallas and Detroit meet up in the second round, Dan Campbell's going to want to annihilate the Dallas Cowboys. That's just the type of vibe that I get from him as a coach, and I love it. And he's going to make sure that Detroit Lions team is ready, where it is not close for a ref to screw any of them over. I have mad confidence Detroit going back into Dallas and this time actually beating them, and I don't think it'll be a close game.
I want that confidence. Give me that confidence, Isaac.
I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a Lions fan.
You should. That's good. That's awesome. So the way that, because I think we agreed on every game. So
yeah.
So we would have Tampa against San Francisco.
Yep.
And then
Detroit and
Cowboys and Dallas.
Yep.
Second round.
Yep.
That would be a fun second round.
That would
AFC
be a
and
very
NFC.
fun second round.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, not so much Tampa Bay and San Francisco. I think that'd be a slaughter.
That's fair.
But the Buffalo Bills Chiefs game would be good based on the Bills always losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs. So that would be fun. But this time Kansas City would be coming to Buffalo. So that would be very interesting.
Yep.
And Joe Flacco going back to Baltimore.
That would be fun.
That's going to be
a fun game.
And
I think the Browns are one of the teams that can beat the Ravens.
Yes, they can.
So that would be interesting. Yeah.
Oh, bro. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm rooting for the Browns and I'm rooting for the Lions if that's the Super Bowl. I know Mach said that would be garbage. He said he would not watch it if it became Browns Lions. Right.
Come on.
I mean, it's two teams that never been to the Super Bowl.
He's fibbing you. He's fibbing you. He has to be.
like
that would be interesting,
bro. That
right?
would be such a cool. Yeah. I mean, based on the quarterback play, Jared Goff versus Joe Flacco, but I just think based on both franchises, never ever. When have they ever been to the playoffs? Machi's in here. He said trash.
Come on, Machi. No.
I didn't know he was in here. That would be so amazing. Like, I wouldn't care who won at that point. I mean, I'd want the Lions to win, but if the Browns win it too, that would be cool. You know, the city of Cleveland, post LeBron, winning a championship. That'd be kind of cool.
I,
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't lie.
yeah, I just think it would be fun, even if it's like Buffalo and Detroit, like just
Yeah.
teams that don't get the opportunity to win a lot. That'd be great. I'm with you on that.
Oh
But
man, you and Avery though can't watch that Super Bowl together.
no. I
Yeah.
think if the Dolphins or the like, you know how we do Super Bowl parties, like if the Dolphins or the Lions made it, first of all, if the Lions made it, I'd have to go watch that with my dad because my dad's been waiting for that moment forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, but I just couldn't watch it with people who are rooting against my team. So
Right.
I just
Well,
couldn't do that.
Mach, the Super Bowl. You said the Super Bowl's coming out of your division. The Browns are in your division.
That's fair. That's fair. Good point, Isaac.
Had to school him a little bit.
But I just realized that, Machi, that was great. Like that's a great point. I just realized Steelers, Browns, and Ravens. That's a 50% chance.
Right.
Good call, Machi. That's a
And
great
only
call.
Buffalo and Miami are representing the AFC East.
Yeah.
Only one AFC West team and one AFC South team.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yep. 2 NFC North teams in the NFC.
Who's trash now? You're talking about the rest.
He's probably talking about me.
No, he's talking about the rest of the opponents. He's like, they're all trash. The only ones that matter is the South. Or he's talking about the Browns, like the take you had on the Browns. Trash.
No, that's not trash. Joe Flacco, man, that's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. People forget and stop playing with that boy, man. Joe Flacco used to scare me a lot as a Pats fan. All those Brady, Joe Flacco playoff games. Oh, I never wanted to see the Ravens, bro. Ever. I never wanted to see Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco had no fear playing on the road in the playoffs. Yeah. No fear. And I still feel like Joe Flacco's still that guy.
Yeah, I got it. Machi, for real, do you really think your team Steelers? Okay, he's answering.
He said 7th ring. Oh, he said Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Steelers. Okay.
Oh gosh. You guys are not getting past Buffalo. Stop it.
So, okay.
He said, Mason, can you guide my way?
Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
Can you guide my way?
Yeah, like guide his team, I think is what he's saying. Like, he can guide the way. I think he's saying like he can guide the way to the Super Bowl.
Oh, sleigh. Mason, can you guide my sleigh? Oh, because his last name's Rudolph.
Oh,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Man.
Oh, boo. Put trash.
Yeah, that almost went over our heads.
Put garbage cans in the chat. That was... Oh,
I'm going to put a garbage can in the chat.
Yeah, please do it. That's terrible. That was garbage.
This is your take, Machi, right here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I got a garbage can over here. Let me. I'll
yeah. No, visual. Genius. Nothing gets past him.
The garbage can can talk the rest of the podcast, guys.
Yeah, we're done. Okay. Anything else, Isaac? Yeah. Or should I? Garbage can. Should I be talking to the garbage can? I'm not sure.
Oh, that's all, folks. We're moving on.
I love it. Machi is what Eric says.
We're moving on.
We're moving on.
Got the podcast.
Yeah.
We're out of here.
Yeah. Follow hashtag trash can YouTube. Trash compactor.
Garbage can match.
Yeah.
Garbage can.
Trash. Follow the Trash Compactor podcast with your host. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, man. Anything else?
2K?
The podcast?
We're on 2K tonight, fellas.
Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you need one more or whatever.
Eric said I loved it, Machi.
Yeah, no.
Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Okay, man. Anything else?
No. Was that everything? That was all the topics for today?
That's all the topics for today, man.
All right.
That was a good podcast. I'm glad we waited.
Yeah.
Didn't have to rush.
Yeah, it was actually good. You know, and Machi, we got Machi back.
Mache. Yeah, I'm glad you made it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Isaac. It was real fun.
It was fun talking.
Yeah, yeah. For everybody else, thank you all for your comments and everybody who's listening afterwards. Check out our live podcast. We try to do them in the morning. Today was a little hectic, so we ended up doing it later at night, but we try to do them Monday and Wednesdays. That's our goal. Monday NFL,
Yep.
Wednesdays NBA.
Yep.
Join the chat. We will read your comments. We'll let you talk to us no matter how hurtful that they are. Like Icon and others were really mean to me today, but we read those comments. Okay. So we will do
Absolutely.
that, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, follow us on YouTube, and follow my guy Isaac here, Soury Lemon, on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. He does NBA 2K stuff as well. So if you just
Absolutely.
want to chill and watch him play some games with his guys, and I
Guys
will
know the
join him
vibes.
sometimes. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir. Ryan
yeah,
Ryan
it's
will be in
super
those
fun.
2K games as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be
Wow.
good. Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Recording